The concepts developed in the book Graffiti Lives by Gregory Snyder can be easily illustrated by the local graffiti in New Orleans. Although there are many reasons that people do graffiti, fame seems to be the most prominent. Writers like Temps, Task, and Harsh are what you would call all-city. Their names can be found everywhere. They have tags, which is simply writing your name, all the way from uptown to downtown New Orleans. I found this tag for Temps on a stop sign by Tulane's campus, and this piece by him in Mid-City. A piece is the most elaborate and difficult type of graffiti. Here is also a throw-up by Temps, which is more elaborate than a tag but less elaborate than a piece, usually consisting of 2 to 3 colors. The same goes for this tag and piece that I found by TSK. Writers also tend to form groups as a way of gaining fame. This unites writers and gives them a higher chance of being known. Writers in the same group may collaborate on work or simply help each other out. Above the piece by TSK, you see his group name, Laws. When people initially began to write, they wrote on trains as a way to get their name and style seen in different cities. It was another way to gain fame. Now, most graffiti on trains is covered up and the government won't even use some trains with graffiti. I was lucky enough to find 2 pieces on our train. One says duel and one says oh fuck. Although the oh fuck piece was hard to read, the sentence is written above to help the viewer analyze the piece. The pieces seem to match each other with their yellow background, so I'm assuming that they were both done at the same time. There were also similar tags around both pieces, suggesting that the writers were in the same group. The new post-subway graffiti is more elaborate than it initially was when it was done on trains. People now make their own tools and write larger pieces in more difficult places. These pieces that say Orchid, Haste, and MESM are more elaborate than pieces done before this new era of graffiti. The MESM piece has a TSK tag, suggesting that TSK did the piece. He may have just liked how the letters work together, or maybe the word actually means something. Doing work in difficult places is another way of showing your skill and power. Temps, as I mentioned before, had to get to a high level of an abandoned building to write this throw-up. New styles continue to develop. This writer, Tard, who I saw a lot around New Orleans, tends to draw figures more than write his own name. He draws the same figure of a deformed person in the same colors so that people recognize his work. He caught my attention more than any other writer because of his unique strategy to gain notoriety. Using a unique style shows confidence, and that must be admired by the other writers. Some writers want to avoid the attention of law enforcement and choose to get permission to write in certain places. The work found on these legal walls tend to be pieces because the writers have more time to complete them. This writer, Emek, chose to write inside an alley of an abandoned building. Although the spot may not be legal, it causes no harm to outsiders. You can't see it from the streets. It might only be seen by the writers that enter the building. The writer also included a date, 2011, suggesting it is very recent work. EBK is also mentioned twice, which may be his group. Some writers even turn this so-called deviant act into non-deviant careers. Some are paid to do murals in galleries, some design clothing and shoes, and some even become tattoo artists. Overall, the graffiti in New Orleans, although considered deviant, is a unique art form that should be appreciated. Instead of covering up graffiti, people should stop to appreciate it.